to keep focused on winning football games as you do and do throughout the year. When you have great coaches, then after you have great coaches, you get great players. You have a great organization, and you tell them one thing: just win, baby.
Marketing come up with that for him. Those were his phrases that he came up with, that he believed in.
Just win. Play hard. Try not to make mistakes. But don't worry about mistakes because there's only one thing that counts. Just win.
Yo, welcome back to another episode of the 2-for-1 Nation podcast, man. I'm one of your hosts, SD Raiders Talk, aka boy Eric, man. And we back, you feel me? And with my host, with the most, my brother, home of the brown crackers in the congregation, my brother RaiderTwuan in the building. What's good, Twan?
Hey, what's good? Y'all know what it is. 2-for-1 Nation podcast. Two brothers for one nation. Oh, wait, one nation. And y'all know it's the Raider Nation. Blessings to everybody out there, especially the congregation.
That's a fact, man. That's a fact. And of course, today we got a lot to talk about. The recap of the horrible game that we seen on Sunday and the preview of the game that is coming up on Sunday in the morning for us in the West Coast. And it's pretty much a little bit later in the afternoon for the East Coast. But of course, shout out to everybody that's here so far and everybody coming in slowly but surely. Shout out to everybody, man. Blessings. Hopefully everybody's having a great week, a better week than last week, because I know last week was fucking horrible. I'm not going to lie. But you feel me? Shout out to who's here so far. Robert Pena in the building in search of a quarterback and offensive line. Cool Kev in the building. Everybody coming on. Salute. Of course. Twan, how you feeling, man? How you feeling after last week? How you feeling in general?
Hey, I'm feeling all right. I've got to a place where, and I'll tell you right now, after the game, when I looked at the score and said, "Hey, we lost," you know what? I laughed, and let me introduce you into my world. Every time something goes the complete opposite of what I thought it was going to be, my way of helping my mentals is laughing it off. And I thought it was hilarious that we put that type of product out on the field, and especially some of the people we'll talk about later on, because I'm really about to get in on a few people this week, because there's no excuse. There's no excuse.
Yeah, and of course, it was one of those games that really it was a slap in the face, at the end of the day, I was predicting a win. I think a lot of us were predicting a win. Shout out to all eyes on G coming in. Tragedy, triumph. What's good? Good to see you. Of course, it was disappointing because I was expecting a win, especially with all the, how do I say it? All the factors that factored into this game, which is pretty much the Chargers not being there in preseason that much. Most of the starters weren't even there. Not only that, they had a new coach with a whole new look on both sides of the ball, pretty much. And on top of that, they had a lot of new players as well. So, and they had the rookie tackle and stuff like that. So it was kind of like, okay, all the factors is leading up to a Raiders win finally in SoFi, because we haven't won in SoFi, a meaningful game. And by meaningful, I mean a regular season game in SoFi. We have not won there. And I'm kind of glad I didn't go, as much as I wanted to meet a lot of you guys, man. I know a lot of you guys went, and hopefully you guys had fun. Regardless of the outcome, hopefully you guys had fun at the tailgate and stuff. I know how fun it can be. Besides that, the game I know wasn't so much fun. Yeah, go ahead.
No, and I feel like, that was another reason why I felt like we were going to win this game, was because they're still trying to figure things out. I
Yeah.
know that we're trying to still figure things out here on our team. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
There's still some things we're trying to figure out as a team, but they have a whole lot more that they're going to figure out. And to be honest with you, that game, the next time we play them, it ain't going to be this easy. Because by that time they should be already figured out. They know what they know what they good at. They know what who needs to do what, all of that. So this was the opportunity to really jump on them. Now, could did I think that we could have swept them early in the season? Of course, but like I said, this game was going to be easier. The first time was going to be easier than the second time we played them. So it's really a tough situation, especially with our head coach talking about, we want to start off fast. The two easy games, and I hate to say easy games, but I'm gonna just say it like that because it's the best way I can communicate it. Is the Chargers and the Panthers, and here we are letting teams beat us that we should be beating.
Mhm. Mhm.
So
Shout out to everybody, man, coming on in. SoCal Sal in the bit. It was good. SoCal Sal. D Menace was good. Salute, salute. Um, Eric couldn't wear his khakis as he was too busy eating chicken nuggets on Sunday, man. Shit, that was better than the goddamn game. I mean, shit. But at the end of the day, the game was a tale of the same thing that's been going on for a while for us, and it's beating ourselves in a lot of these games, and we beat ourselves, man. That's the best way to put it in a single sentence. We beat ourselves once again, and nobody could tell me that the Chargers were a better team. They were not. It's just that we beat ourselves, like I said. So, there was a lot of things across the board, and obviously, let's get into it. With individual play, man. I'm gonna let you feel me, talk about a little bit of how you felt about. Let's start off with let's save the offense. How did you feel about the defense on Sunday, man?
I think the defense did their job.
Hmm.
And I know some people be like, man, the way that they ran on us at the end of the game, guess what? The defense was on the field a whole lot more than this offense.
Hmm.
So I'm not going to be mad at them, especially the first week, because no matter what kind of training they may do during training camp and OTAs and all of that, it's different when the bullet's flying. And
Hmm.
you expend a whole lot of energy
Hmm.
when the bullets are flying over a training camp situation.
Hmm.
So this is their first game. And to be honest with you, I think they were gassed. And not just only gassed physically, but I think they were gassed mentally. I think
Hmm.
some of the runs they didn't fit right. And I think that was just them, at the end of the game kind of being lackadaisical, like, I'm trying to do the best I can to, what I'm saying, but I've been on the field every time.
Hmm.
Every time we go 3 and out, and this offense is making us come back out. So I just feel like condition wise, um, also played a factor as to
Hmm.
why there was a tell of, like they say, a tell of two halves.
Two halves, yeah.
And that's what it was. But I'm perfectly fine with this defense. Now, if our offense could actually throw a couple of punches here and there. You know what I'm saying? When you fighting with your homies, you know what I'm saying, and y'all going against the other
Hmm.
homies, not the other homies, but the other, the ops. You know what I'm saying? You hope your homie throw a couple of punches, and unfortunately, this offense didn't. So when that happens, I think our defense will be even better because they'll be able to rest a little bit.
Yeah.
They'll be able to, drink their Gatorade and do whatever
Hmm.
they need to do. So when the next time they come out there, 3 and out, you know what I'm saying, and get the job done. But them being on the field that long, I think that's why we got what we got at the end of the game.
It's a fact. And for me, a part of the defense did a pretty good job. I think they did a good job for what they can handle. At the end of the day, defensive line looked pretty decent. I mean, I don't care what anybody says with Joel. He got thrown like a rag doll by Wilkins, but they don't want to talk about that. Uh, and then on top of that, I think they did a good job. I think they just got gassed, like you said. They got gassed in the fourth quarter. It is what it is. They got frustrated, and you could tell they were frustrated because of the pretty much the same thing all I said, the punches that were thrown in the fourth quarter. We never seen Max Crosby and them look like that. Even last year, get that frustrated to that point. So it shows you kind of how much um, the team really needed, and kind of goes back to the wake up call. Kind of goes back to what I put the title as, pretty much. Hopefully it's a wake up call, right? I could only pray that it's a wake up call, but I'm pretty sure this woke them up, and I hope it woke them up, because if it didn't, we're in for a very, very, very long season. Because we'll get to the Ravens. The Ravens are way better than the Chargers, man. And if you think they're not pissed off of the Chiefs' loss, I don't know what you're thinking. But shout out to Raider Knight in the building. Says someone file a missing persons report. Entire O line missing. Sherbert didn't beat us. That's a fact. We beat ourselves. That's a fact. Shout out to Raider Knight. Shout out to Anthony Estrada in the building. What's good, Anthony? Good to see you, man. Hope all is well. Hopefully you had fun at the game. I think you were at the game, right? Shout out to you. Shout out to you. Shout out to everybody coming on in, man. Daniel Berry Sports Highlight in the building. Was good. Was good. But now, you feel me? Let's get to the other side of the ball, because I think the defense, there wasn't too much to pretty much bash on the defense, in my opinion. I think even Jacorian Bennett did a goddamn good job. And I always said that Jacorian Bennett was one of those guys that could really take the next step if he wanted to, and that this was his chance. And I said the cornerback room was like the linebacker room of last year. We thought it was the weakest group, and they looked like one of the strongest groups out there. And moving on to practically, we could say, I can't even describe it, man. Talk to me a little bit about the offense, man.
Wide receivers played well.
Mm-hmm.
Not mad at the running backs.
Mm-hmm.
And the reason why I'm not mad at the running backs, I know some people are like, man, Zeus missed that, whatever, because everybody wants to pick on Zeus, and that's your Raider gospel. But when you look at the averages, statistically, of these running backs, all of them ran 3 yards. You know what I'm saying? Zeus ran 3.4. Madison ran 3.8. So it would be a different situation if Madison ran 6.2 and Zeus ran a 3.4, right? But because all the running backs that came in and actually ran the ball averaged the same amount, I got to put that on the O-line. I got to put it on the O-line. You know what I'm saying? Like, it like I said, it would be one thing if one of them had a higher number than the other, because then that would be like, okay, maybe that was a hotter hand. Maybe, you know what I'm saying? Maybe Zeus was not seeing it. But if they're averaging the same amount of rush yards, you know what I'm saying, per snap, you got to put it on the O-line. And as we go to the O-line, and this ain't the segment, Eric, so don't surprise me.
Yeah. But we go do it right now. Yeah.
You know, there's a situation where, and you kind of convinced me into it, and I kind of started to believe it. But when you got your center not blocking, getting blown back, letting people pass him up, this is exactly what you're going to get. And, I was trying to stay away from it, Eric. I really am. And I didn't expect it to be in week 1. But his name is Andre -3000. He's got the name again. Because, again, the success of the offensive line, especially the way that we were trying to run the ball and where we were trying to run the ball, we were trying to run the ball up the middle. And Andre James was getting killed almost on every, if not every play, every other play. So I'm at a point with Andre James. I know he got some money on it, but we got to find something else. Move Parham or somebody. We got enough people on this team that can actually play center, and I think they can play better than Andre James.
Yeah. For
Because
me, yeah, go
that
ahead.
ain't helping nobody. That ain't helping nobody in the run game, and that's definitely not helping nobody in the pass game. Every time you snap the ball, the defender's right in your face. You can barely get the ball off.
Hmm.
You're already running for your life.
Hmm.
So it and don't I I I I see Colton Miller, and I definitely want to slight lightweight give him a pass because this was his first
Hmm.
snap and all that stuff back and all that, but he was getting blown back.
Hmm.
So yeah, the wide receivers, tight ends. I'm not blaming too much on the running backs, but everybody else, I'm putting a flame on it.
Before I give my take, let me just get to some of these chats real quick. Oh man, of course, cool being out there, but extremely frustrated with the Raiders and the heat equals a very bad day. I heard it was hot as fuck in the morning because I know it started at 1 p.m. and then obviously people are tailgating there from like the a.m. Shout out to Lake Show Raider in the video was good. I wanted Bowers to get his first TD, maybe against the Raiders, maybe man. And Bowers, he was the second best tight end last week in the NFL, which hey, that's a positive, right? None of that matter. There's no excuse for the missed tackle. Lukaku made Epson work look silly, and they were trying to tackle Ghost. And Devon Diablo, the dude, could have tackle Mannequin. Makaki made him look like silly. Am I like not seeing? I mean, I will say that McConkey was their best receiver, but he didn't even touch 40 yards in the whole game. Uh, but I will say the missed tackles was horrible. I mean, especially on Diablo's side, I was very disappointed in Diablo and his run support ability. It was one of the worst things, and that's why that's why Dobbins ran for pretty much about to be a touchdown because Diablo missed the tackle. But I wouldn't say McConkey made him look silly. I will say that McConkey was their best receiver, and I have a lot of respect for McConkey because he's one of those guys that I like coming out of Georgia. And stuff like that. But I would say me personally, I would say silly. But at the end of the day, you feel me? We got different takes, but I do agree the missed tackles was something that has been the name of the game for the Rays for a long time. The missed tackles have been a very, very bad thing about our defense, and of course, uh, on top of that, it's a what's that term? Make or break. What is it? Bend don't break defense. It's a bend don't break defense. It's a defense that it's gonna give a lot of yards and then it's gonna stop them. Like that's just what they are. I mean, that's what I accepted from Patrick Graham. But at the end of the day, yeah, the missed tackles, especially from Diablo. Me personally, Diablo would be a negative from the defense that I would say on one person. But of course, we're on the offense from first look. I think Miller and Parham had the worst game of the O line. I normally watch the game again, but that shit will just piss me off. Yeah, but when our center has the second most pressures on the team, that's a horrible sign. And Miller with 4 pressures and 2 sacks. Ouch, where's DJ Glaze when you need him? The problem is, with the O line is that Colton Miller, we have to look at it from the reality standpoint. And the reality is Colton Miller didn't play the whole offseason. He didn't play in the preseason. He was injured the whole offseason. He's coming out of shoulder injury. He's coming back from shoulder injury. Not to give excuses, but that's the reality of it. And I didn't expect him to play that bad, but you could tell the rust is there. Maybe the Raiders should have gone a different route and put somebody like Glaze and put Thayer on the other side and have it as that because Glaze was more prepared as far as preparation up to that point, but they didn't. They went with the veteran. They went with the guy that is one of our best offensive linemen when healthy, and he didn't look healthy out there, man. He looked like he was coming back after injury, and that was the reality of it, right? He looked really bad. And I hope that it was just that. And if it's not that and he consistently plays bad, we need to do something about that tackle position. But I was more disappointed in Parham and James due to the fact that I was seeing James not pick up a lot of stunts, and I was looking at Parham pretty much get absolutely dominated, looking like Plato out there. I think Colton Miller will retire at the end of the season. I hope not, man. I hope he really comes back. Zeus only got 30 carries. I've been saying all this all season for him get going. He needs at least 20 carries a game, and I do agree there. And the offensive line wasn't that helping either. He's talking about the TD when Epson Mork was playing two-hand tag. Oh, that one, that certain play. Well, yeah, they were playing two-hand tag. I don't know what the fuck they were doing on that play. If you're talking about that play, yeah, I ain't gonna lie. I don't know what the hell they were doing. I mean, I don't know what the hell they're doing.
I saw a
Uh,
question. I think Anna
which question?
Strada said it. If you can find it.
Which one?
Oh, it's right here. Yeah.
He says, Twuan, if you don't blame the O-line and the running game, who can blame? Minshew tried, nobody could play in that O-line, and the defense runs defense extremely exhausted on and off the field in the heat.
No, I blame the offensive line. I don't blame the running backs because like I said, when you look at the averages of what the running backs were rushing for, everybody was getting that. You know what I'm saying? That's like me and Eric going out there and we're the running backs, but we average the same. Like what they got what they could get, and what helps you get those get more than 3.4 and 3.8. That's when the offensive line opens that up. The other thing that didn't help the situation is that Minshew didn't even chuck the ball down the field. I don't care if he missed Tucker 40 yards down the field, but that gives the defense something to think about. If you don't throw it down the field, what they going to do? They're going to suck up down towards the line. So even if the offensive line did open up a gap, if defensively everybody's sucking up towards the line of scrimmage, you're not really going to get much anyway. So there was a lot of it was a whole mess of things in the situation, and not saying that there wasn't deep routes. You know what I'm saying? I seen plenty of times where Tucker was splitting they too high defense, or even when it was single high, he was going up the field and nothing. So we got what we got, and I do blame the offensive line. Like I said, I give a pass to our running backs because of the way that our offensive line played.
Interesting. I'm gonna push back a little bit on there. Me personally, I blame the running backs as well, and not all the running backs. I blame pretty much Madison had a pretty good game. Abdullah wasn't really out there that much except for special teams. But Zamir White, there was plays where he could have easily cut back, and his vision wasn't the best. I looked at a meme, and I go, it was a crazy meme. They had him instead of Stevie Wonder's face, they put Zamir White's face. And for me, when I rewatched the game, I kind of seen that vision not be there fully. And I think that was always Zamir White's problem, where he would run straight into where it's already clogged up. And now, again, the offensive line was horrible. Whatever the offensive line does, hey, it affects the quarterback, it affects the running backs, it affects the receivers, even to get the play down, right? To let it go. But for me, personally, I have a little bit of blame in Zamir White, but obviously, I have more blame in the offensive line. I have more blame in the coaching staff. Yeah, I mean, that's just all I wanted to say about the running back room. I give them a little bit of pass, but not fully a pass. But at the same time, they're not the main reason why we lost, man. I think coaching staff and the offensive line are two of the biggest reasons why we lost on Sunday. And we're gonna talk about the coaching stuff right now soon. But I want to get to some of these comments, and then we could tell them about the new, you feel me? The new thing we have in the background now. No excuses, right? Well, that's why AP preaches. You don't put a man out there if they're not ready, and that's a fact. Unleash. I 100% agree with you there. I don't know why they did it with Gardner Minshew, saying that Gardner Minshew is the best to start off strong, but then he doesn't do it with the other players around the thing, and that's where the coaching staff I blame. And I'm gonna talk about the coaching staff right now after we do their segment. Knock knock, who's there? Owen 2. God damn, bro. Miller hasn't even had camp, and we switched to zone. That's wild. He wasn't ready, and that's a fact. They had 9 in the box. Yup, because we don't have that deep play. We don't have that deep play ability. AOC has that ability to throw it downfield. Minshew does not, and that's the reality of it. Nice one, Eric Plato Parham. That's a fact, man. That's my new nickname for him. PDP. PDP. The other year was DP because of Darius Phillips. You feel me? DP. Now it's PDB right there, man. The fact that Gardner was in there because we knew the offensive line wasn't ready and he could have made plays with the legs. The only time I seen him run was straight out of bounds to Bosa. That's a fact. Zamir got television like Jenna. But let's get straight into it, right? Of course, we're bringing something every week to this day. And obviously, I'm going to give the floor to my brother Twuan here, man. Let us know, Twuan, who the winner of, hold on, what you doing Wednesdays is. You see it right there, the new segment of the week. Let them know, man.
Ladies and gentlemen, what you do on Wednesdays is when we look back at the game, and there's a player that is just stunk it up, and you say, and we said it all on when we watch the game. What are you doing? Okay, so we got what are you doing Wednesday, and the winner, the winner this week is Gardner Minshew. Hey, what are you doing? Okay, I said plenty of times, and I've said it on my show at the game plan. Maybe you should come over to RaiderTwuan and watch the game plan, because I said you need to attack the middle. And when you was actually a successful moving the chains, guess where the ball was going? In the middle of the field. But guess what you didn't do? You missed Brock Bowers in the middle. You also missed Devontae Adams down the middle. And this is when the offensive line was blocking for you. Okay, they didn't block the whole game, and I could tell you was scared. But there was moments in the game where you could have threw the ball down the field, and you failed not to. Now I'm not finished. I talked about him throwing it down the field, and what are you doing? You decide to throw an interception. Yes, that's on you. You threw the ball. Mac tipped it, and it was a pick. Turnover on you. Now, you know your head coach don't like turnovers, so that's a whole big situation where you are turning the ball over and turning the ball over. And I'm not done. Here we are again. What are you doing? Throwing a ball, and the ball's not going forward. You're supposed to throw the ball forward, not to the side, and definitely not behind you. What did that turn into? A fumble. You turned the ball over not once, but twice. What are you doing? What are you doing, Gardner Minshew? You need to play better than that. The whole reason why you're in is because we're supposed to start fast. But the way that you played in week 1, it looks like we about to start very slow. What are you doing? And you know why I'm saying this. Because we just want to win, baby.
And that's the segment of this week. What you doing Wednesdays? You feel me? And of course, I ain't gonna lie, I agree with everything Twuan said, man. And this goes back to what Raider Unleashed said here. And it was actually perfect timing that you said Gardner Minshew at the same time that Raiders Unleashed said this comment here. Come on, let's be real. The reason we lost was the 2 turnovers by our quarterback. One trying to pass a ghost. Casper was not on the field. And was pretty much perfect timing. But for me, personally, if I were to say what you're doing, I would do Antonio Pierce. Me personally, right? Due to the fact that, come on, man, you've been preaching. This is what pisses me off the most, Twuan. And we're gonna get into the coaching staff now, man.
Before you do that,
yeah,
hey, on what you do on Wednesdays when I'm doing my thing, I want you guys in the comment section to put WYD, okay? WYD, and then tell me what player you want to say what you doing, okay? So I might say your player, but if there's somebody else that you want to say what you doing for that week, go ahead and put it in the comment section.
Yep.
WYD and then the name of the player.
Fact, shout out to Sam Tanka and everybody coming in, man. Of course, for me, getting into the coaching stuff now, I think Twuan said everything about the quarterback. I got nothing to add on. He was playing rugby out there. I already said it in my last show. He was playing rugby out there. And you feel me? You're supposed to throw the ball forward, not backwards.
And why was he? Why and Eric? Why was he? I could have swore, and those that know me, I could have swore our quarterback was Keisha Cole, because he was out there doing one of these numbers before he threw it behind him. Like first you grab the ball and then you throw it
Yeah.
forward.
Mm-hmm.
What do you do?
Hey, we could be
See,
here all day
see,
talking about it. Shout out to Snoop Hernandez was good, and Raider Alicia's boy is saying the same thing you're saying. Come on, man. Gardner did not eat his brown crackers. No, he did not.
sure did not.
I'm getting Mike Singletary advice from Coach AP. So let's talk about AP real quick, man. And AP, I know you'll be watching shows, man. I know you'll be watching social media, and I don't know if you'll come across this, but I gotta say this, bro. It sucks that I'm gonna be a one to criticize you because I've been one of your biggest fans. I mean, that's a fact. That's been a statement. I've been saying that you are one of the best ones for the job due to the fact of the culture change and what you were preaching all off season about poise and being violent and just going out there and hitting them in the mouth, making them not like us, all these different things. I did not see that Sunday, man. And what pisses me off more about Sunday is the fact that this whole offseason, I got fed all these things, right? Backing the coaching staff up, saying that this is one of the best coaching staffs in the AFC West, because even from individual position coaches to assistant pretty much coaches like Marvin Lewis, which, by the way, nobody has really blamed the assistant head coaches. And let's be honest, why weren't they in AP's ear telling them to challenge that fucking play? First of all, I don't know what the hell going on over there. I don't know if there's no communication there at all, but there was several plays there, not only just the first down, but also on other situations where you could have easily challenged it or even gone for it on 4th and 1. But go ahead.
There is, and that's why I wanted to
Mhm.
answer that for you. There is somebody that's in his ear
Mhm.
to tell him to throw the flag and all of that. So it would be on them
Mhm.
to remind AP, like, hey, you know what I'm saying? Because again, this is what we're gonna have to run into, Raider Nation.
Mhm.
AP's, of course, he was here, and did some games last year, but this is his year. You know what I'm saying? This is his year as a head coach, and I consider this to be his rookie year. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So what do rookies do? They make rookie mistakes, and that's why, again, like you said, the other coaches around him, or that person that tells him to throw the flag and all of that, should have been in his ear at that moment, because you gotta take a shot at trying that. You know what I'm saying? To see if, yeah, hey, I need, I know, I don't know if they bring out the chains anymore, but I know they have to. I seen they had the little virtual, situation.
Yeah.
But hey, we need to bring that out.
That's a fact.
Let's see this. Just to give this offense hope, because it was really hopeless on that offensive line. Now, I had a question, because you said, you thought that they were, going to be fierce and everything. I thought the defense was on that.
I think
Was on
the
that
defense
height.
was
I
on that
think it was
level.
just the
Yeah, yeah,
offense.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I do agree there. I think the defense, especially in the first half, looked really damn fucking good. I mean, this defense looked like they were taking what happened towards the end of last season and bringing it in. But of course,
Hey,
the tell of the tape is this offense, it did not look like what was getting praised all offseason. We've been hearing that these quarterbacks really, really out here putting in work, stuff like that. All these different things and stuff like that, that the quarterbacks, the competition's high, that they're making throws that they didn't see before, that they're talking trash. You got Gardner Minshew talking trash to everybody. And then you go onto the field and it doesn't even look like that. Gardner Minshew is supposed to be this mobile quarterback, and all he was mobile to the sidelines. What the fuck? Like, honestly, what the fuck am I watching, bro? It's pure rugby that I'm watching. And not only that, he keeps getting scared of being mobile. And I just don't get what happened. I don't get what the practice was like heading up to that game. I don't know what happened in the locker room before that game or even at halftime. Hey, okay, cool. First half, you can't get no points on the board. You only get a touchdown. Okay, whatever. But adjustments, bro. What happened in the second half? You made adjustments for the wrong reasons. You went for it on 4th and 1. You did back-to-back runs that got both stuffed in the first half, and then you go on to the second half, and you're 4th and 1. Not only are you on their side of the field, but earlier you went for it when we were on our side of the field. What was the difference of being on their side of the field? It should be easier. And on top of that, you knew that the run game wasn't there. So this is where Luke Getzey also gets blamed. What type of play calls is Luke Getzey doing on so many occasions? But he also play called really well as well. When I watched some Luke Getzey film about Chicago, right? When I kind of broke down, I think it was one of my videos of me breaking down a little bit about Luke Getzey. Luke Getzey is one of those guys that he'll create a lot of plays that makes a lot of receivers open, and you need a quarterback to make those plays. But he also schemes a lot of plays that are horrible and that just hold up everything. And that's exactly what you've seen on Sundays. You've seen plays where Devontae Adams was open, where kind of like what you said, Brock Bowers was open. All these people were open, but Gardner Minshew didn't make the plays, just like Justin Fields didn't make the play. Now, there was also scheme fits where it was back-to-back runs on 4th and 1, and then you get stopped. You keep running it when it's not working. You keep doing these short passes that's not working. You set up a screen that ended up being a rugby pass to absolutely nobody, no communication. That's your doing. So, of course, it was the same thing he did in Chicago. I wished he would have improved. I hope it improves. But this whole bullshit about some short passes and shit and making these receivers not, I don't know, bro. It's just, I don't know.
I
The whole coaching staff pissed me off on Sunday.
I I'm
Mhm,
giving it, and I'm a little different than you.
mhm,
I'm giving Getsy a pass on the fact that the execution part of it, I don't think we really got to see the fullness of Getsy's offense. Like there was a lot of things left out on the table
mhm,
that should have been executed and would have been like, oh, Getsy, good call, good play, but that that
mhm,
that wasn't the case. There was a lot of lack of execution.
mhm,
So I'm gonna wait until
mhm,
we get an opportunity where it looks like the offense is doing what they do
mhm,
to really get Getsy
mhm.
that look. Now I'm gonna push back on you
Okay.
in
Mhm,
regards to the 4th and 1 situation. I think in the totality of the game, I've said it plenty of times, and I'm gonna say it again. AP is a coach, but he's
mhm,
also a Raider, and he knows the motto of a Raider is just win.
mhm,
So he's gonna try to do whatever he can to win the game. Now, in the early stages of the game, where because we were talking about that time he uh, had the offense go for it, on our 30, type of situation. I think he was really trying to be gutsy and give our, offense a chance to
mhm,
prove themselves. But when it came to the end of the game, after everything we seen from that offense and how poor they played and how they were not moving the chains, I feel like that was the right move
mhm,
because our defense in the totality of that game, they,
mhm,
they gave up points at the end of the game, but in the totality of that game, they were shutting down the Chargers.
mhm,
So am I going to go with we always talk about going with the hotter hand, right?
mhm,
That game, the hotter hand was the defense. So to kick it off to them, we got one of the best punters in the league, and he was kicking the heck out of the ball. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to him for winning who ate the brown crackers. But him kicking the ball, the hopes was that the defense was going to do what they've been doing all game. And that just happened not to be the case. But
mhm.
they were the hot hand. The offense, please tell me, Raider Nation, when you felt the offense was hot at any point of the game.
I
We
think.
got we got
uh
lucky. We got lucky with Madison, you know what I'm saying, on a dump off that he was able to take it to the house.
I think I think I think one, just to push back a little bit back. There's two things I wanted to say. Number one, just to say the 4th and 1. The only reason why I disagree in the sense of giving it back to the hot hand is because the hot hand was starting to become cold because of how much they were out there on the field. Their energy was low, and you seen we gave it back to them, and look what they were doing with J.K. Dobbins. It kind of showed you that the defense was tired. So for me personally, I would have went on at a 4th and 1, just a different play call. Like, this run game ain't gonna work. I don't know why the hell. I mean, if they were gonna scheme a run play there, it was probably gonna get stopped again. So maybe in that sense, yeah, don't go for a 4th and 1 if that was the play you were gonna do. But at that point, you gotta go for it, man. Especially in this time crunch, is you gotta give your defense a breather, regardless of what it is. You gotta give your defense a breather, and they just didn't get a breather. But the second thing I just wanted to say, to kind of touch up upon um the whole pretty much the whole offense in general. I think that the coaching staff needs to do a little bit of a better job at making the best of what they got. And what I mean is they didn't they didn't go based on our strongest suits. And what I
Mm,
mean by this is our strongest suits was the yards after catch. The guys that could get the yards after catch once they catch in within 5 yards. We didn't see too many slants. We didn't see too many crossing routes. We didn't see too many great screen plays, right? We
mhm,
also didn't see those type of plays. And I wanted to see a little bit more of that because you seen what happened when we gave it to Trey Tucker, when we gave him a little quick little pass. He got a little bit of 9, 10 yards, which was the first down in my opinion, but obviously didn't call it first down. But that was one. I think the only time I will give the offense credit, but at the same time not give it credit, is that one time where Zamir started running the ball and then he ended up fumbling it. I think that offense right there, that offensive drive was looking good the way it was going. And then
uh,
obviously a turnover caused everything. But shout out to everybody coming in. Matt Circus was good. Good to see you, Raider Paul. Good to see you. To be Chile in the building. Circus Raider was good. Good to see everybody coming on in. And if you guys can, hit that like button, subscribe if you're new. And man, this takes me to the next thing. And now all eyes, right? All eyes are set on Sunday. The Raiders away at Baltimore.
mhm.
The Ravens that have lost to the reigning champions, the bullshit ass Kermit the Frog, Kansas City Chiefs, that came down to a toe drag pretty much. So, guys, it's time to preview the Raiders and Ravens. Twuan, talk to me about your feelings towards this game. Are you confident? Are you not? Are you hoping? Are you praying? Or you have no faith? Talk to me, man.
I pray every day, but
Mhm.
that I don't think it's gonna be good. I think the best opportunity was if the Ravens actually won against the Chiefs to maybe catch them sleeping.
Yeah.
But because they got embarrassed on national TV, you know what I'm saying, whether it was a close game or not, like they're gonna want to put it on us. And I think our defense might be up to it,
Mhm.
but it's a situation where, when you fight, you use two hands, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And you're gonna lose if you just using one hand. And I think
Mhm.
our defense is that one hand. And if our offense doesn't throw a punch at least every once in a while, yeah, it's gonna be just like the Charger game, but probably
Mhm.
worse.
Mhm. For me, I already said, man, I'm not giving predictions no more. I already got stabbed in the back, and I'm not gonna get stabbed in the back again. For me personally, I will say that our defensive line is gonna be one of the most important things, and our defense in general, including our linebackers and safeties, need to be better at tackling because you got Lamar Jackson and Derrick Henry coming to town, two guys that are pretty good rushers, especially Lamar Jackson. Lamar
Mhm.
Jackson had over 120 yards rushing on a Kansas City Chiefs defense that, in a lot of people's eyes, is a really good defensive unit. And not only that, Derrick Henry scored as well. And he only had 13 carries, but Lamar Jackson had 60 carries for 122 yards in total, to give you the specific. Hey, he only got sacked one time, man. If there's one thing about the Raiders, we need to get to the quarterback. And the best way to utilize that is our defensive line. And the best way to scheme for that, at the end of the day, I have faith in Patrick Graham more than I do on the offense. Patrick Graham, you know what to do, man. QB contain all day. Christian Wilkins through the middle, QB contain all day on the edges, bro. That's the best way to make Lamar Jackson, because if you force Lamar Jackson to throw the ball, you've seen that he's not always the greatest thrower. So of course that's a key there. Obviously, and once I get to Saturday, my Saturday show, I'll give you guys obviously the keys to the game. But of course, you got to also look at Isaiah Likely, man. That tight end room over there that they got is pretty damn good. And then of course, the Chiefs. I mean, Patrick Mahomes didn't have the greatest of game, a touchdown, interception, 291 yards. He usually plays better than that. But Rashee Rice, man, 100 yards for him. So, of course, we need Devontae Adams to get going. But talk to me, man. How you feel about, let's start off with our offense against the Ravens defense. What you feel about that, man?
Their D line, and they got linebackers. So running the ball is going to be tough.
Yep.
Now, can we possibly just exploit them in the passing game? It's all based on if this line can hold up, and if Minshew doesn't get all excited and throw the dump off the whole game. So you got two factors that have to come into play if we really want to move the chains. But running the ball, you might want to do it a couple of times just to keep them honest, or maybe not inside runs, but run it on the outside or something like that. Because Roquan Smith ain't no punk in the middle of that defense. And that's what they're going to have to go against if they get past the D line.
Yeah, because they got a pretty good D line over there. Michael Pierce, I like Ojabo, which I believe he was from Michigan, if I'm not mistaken. And then their linebackers, like you said, bro, they got obviously they got Roquan Smith, and then Trenton Simpson from Clemson, which I loved a lot coming out of the draft.
I wanted him.
Yep, Kyle Van Noy, another one there that a lot of Raider fans wanted. And then that's not even including their pretty much their defensive back room, and Marlon Humphrey and Nate Wiggins from also Clemson, I believe. And then obviously they have a safety room in Eddie Jackson and Kyle Hamilton and Marcus Williams. So they got themselves a little bit of a defense. And I think it's all going to come down to execution and game plan. What it's all about. And shout out to Ron. He says Patrick Graham's the only consistent coach. The defense has turned for better since his arrival. That's a fact, man. Shout out to you. But for me, obviously, I have no expectations for this offense, man. They didn't show me shit. But if there's one thing for sure, I swear, bro, they better use that Charger game as a wake-up call. Because if they don't use that as a wake-up call, I ain't gonna lie, people are gonna start pulling. I mean, I already seen people pull off the mock drafts, but best believe SC Raiders Talk is gonna pull off the mock draft before the end of the season if we freaking continue going down this path, because this team has more potential than what they're giving themselves, and that's what pisses me off the most about this team. The potential is here, and they're right here. And I get it, it's week 1, but at the end of the day, bro, you talk all this game about offseason that we're ready. We're going to go out there, hit them in the mouth. We're going to start off strong. Gardner Mitchell's our best player to be out there for the quick start. And then it just all trickles down, man. And for me, they better use this as a wake-up call, man, against the Ravens especially. Because if we play the same way we played against the Chargers to the Ravens are going to put 30 on us. And I promise you they'll put 30 on us. If we don't wake up.
Big facts.
If we don't wake up. And I hate to be negative because everybody knows I'm such a positive person. But I ain't gonna lie, I got stabbed in the back, bro. And they got to show me something. So for me, I'm not expecting a loss. I'm not expecting a win. I'm expecting a wake-up call. And that's what I'm hoping. And that's what I'm going to pray for. But at the same time, for me, I still have belief in this team. At the end of the day, I'm a Raiders fan. I'm going to believe in this team no matter what.
I'm past the positive. I'll say some things here and there, but like I rather just say it like it is. Like I already know I got a score in my head on where this game is going to go, and it ain't going to be nice. Because again, like I said, when you fight, you use 2 hands, and right now we only got 1.
Yeah. That's a fact. And hopefully, you feel me, they perform, man. Hopefully they do. They are believing in the team like I always do every year. Hopefully they come out with the win, but I mean, I don't have expectations for it. So Raider Lee just says 49-12. 49-12, what team?
Hey, you close.
49-12, what team?
If you say it the way I think, you close.
We got which even sucks more because it's a 10 a.m. game. We know we're not good in early morning games, so that's even the more pissed off part. And we're playing in Baltimore. By the way, their home opener. So yeah. Shout out to Thrash, was good. All the odds are against us, but you know what, bro? There's no you know what. Honestly, I tried thinking of something. They ran slants, but man, Minshew kept throwing to the outs instead of the open wide receivers running slants. Hopefully, he improves. That's a fact. If we have a repeat of last Sunday, just know if I'm on the Quinn Ewers, Archie Manning, or whatever college quarterback hype train, because I ain't getting my hopes up. I feel that, man. I'm not getting my hopes up. He says Ravens 49-12.
Hey, you close to what I had.
What do you have?
But I said 38-10. But everything that we needed and everything that we missed was right in the middle of that defense. And I called it. I said, attack the middle, and then specifically we needed to attack Denzel Perryman. And think about all the completions we had. They were in the middle of the field. And then when you look back at the tape on who was actually open and where they were in the middle of the field. And didn't get it done. So, yeah. Oh, by the way, I have a jersey on. And yeah.
I figured we would start slow and catch heat towards the end of the season, man. We'll see, man. I'm trying to reverse my luck. I feel that, man. For me, I have no prediction. I'm just believing in the team. That's it. Like I always do every year, every game, every week. It's a new week. I'm hoping they do things differently. And obviously on Saturday when I do my individual show, I'll give you more of a preview of what I feel like as the keys of the game. But besides that, let me just give you guys the weekly injury report. So far that's just based on Wednesday. First, let's start off with the Raiders. Brock Bowers, full participant. He's good to go. Devon Diablo, full participant. Tommy Eichenberg, full participant, which is interesting. We're going to have him back. Andre James, limited participation with his elbow. Colton Miller with the knee, limited participation. Jackson Powers Johnson, due to illness, and that's what they have listed. Not his injury, but illness, limited participation. DeCamerion Richardson and Tyree Wilson both did not play. Tyree Wilson with his knee and DeCamerion Richardson with the hamstring. And I ain't gonna lie, it looks like Malcolm Kuntz might not even get paid, and it looks like Tyree Wilson might not even be here, bro. That's what it's looking like. I mean, in my opinion, that's what it's looking like, and it sucks. It sucks because I was one of them that was like, hey, pay Malcolm Kuntz. But now with his injury, man, it's worse than what people would imagine. And then the Baltimore Ravens, Kyle Van Noy, his eye, he has an injury on his eye, did not participate. Roquan Smith, limited participation with the shoulder. And Adasa Isaac from their outside linebacker, their hamstring injury, limited participation. That's all they got. And there was news today that Lamar Jackson is fully healthy because there was rumors that he was a little bit injured. But fully healthy Lamar Jackson entering Sunday. So anything that catches you out from this injury report?
Exactly what I expected.
Okay.
I think Colton Miller being limited, I think that wasn't because of Sunday. I think he came back, but he wasn't fully.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So they're going to limit him, and then also, he's getting up there. So I think they're just taking him easy. Taking that situation easy by limiting him. It's interesting. I'm really interested on what JPJ is going through because it's been a couple of weeks now. You know what I'm saying? That he's been illness. So that's interesting to me, but everything else is as expected.
And no idea, Kevin. I'm not gonna lie. No idea, bro. I mean, it could be anything. It could be really sickness, or they're just saving it for the week of. Sometimes teams, what they like to do is list players as illness, and then later on, the whole time they were healthy, but it was just to not make anybody think that, oh, this guy's starting or this guy's gonna be out there. But in my opinion, the way the offseason has been going, I wouldn't doubt it. Jackson Powers Johnson doesn't get that much play time on Sunday. And me personally,
I don't
after
think he
the
should.
weapon,
I don't think he should.
yeah, I don't think so
I
either.
don't think he's ready. Like,
I don't think
how
he is
much
either.
practice time has he actually got?
No idea.
Like, it's even worse than Colton Miller, and I know everybody. Oh, Colton Miller's a Pro Bowler, but I'm just
Could be.
saying that in the sense of a professional coming back to the NFL, like he's not up to speed.
Fact. Shout out to Gam Montani. He's AP is to all talk when it comes to Luke Getty. No other teams want him. Now we see why it's like if we want Nikes, you're gonna pay, but Pro Wings is cheaper. So Getty's Pro Wings, you get what you get paid for. That's a fact, man. Hopefully they turn it around, right? I see a win on Sunday if they move Parham back to left and switch Whitehead to the right. We'll see what they do, man. But all I know is if Colton Miller again is limited participation, bro, I ain't gonna lie. As much as I hate to say this, DJ Glazer and Andres P needs to start. And that's only for the fact that they were there more in the offseason than Colton Miller was, bro. And they're more healthier and they know more of the scheme more than he does right now. And I hate to say that because me and Andres Peace with at the end of the day, I liked when we picked him up, but during the offseason, I kind of went away from him. But at the end of the day, DJ Glaze and Andres P are two guys that were there the whole offseason, are healthy, more healthier than Colton Miller. And just at the end of the day, bro, the best ability is availability, man. Yeah, it could be DJ Glaze. And obviously, I mean, hey, fuck it. Put Parham back to the left, man. I'm cool with that too. Because at the end of the day, he needs to be in the best position. Because I ain't gonna lie, what I seen on Sunday, man, that PDP, man, play dope Parham, man. It wasn't that good. So we'll see what happens, man. Hopefully they make some adjustments. Hopefully Luke gets a pair of balls. And hopefully AP also knows what he did wrong and goes out there and really performs as a coach is supposed to. And hopefully Gardner Minshew gets it together, and hopefully his offensive line comes together and his running back room looks good. And from there, I'm expecting the defensive line to perform. Bars were serviceable, yeah. So, man, like I said, before we end it off, let me know any predictions, bold predictions, if you have even a bold prediction and stuff like that. Let me know, man. Yeah, hopefully. Hopefully, right? Hopefully. That's the key word, hopefully.
Minshew's not going to throw the ball backwards. That's my bold prediction.
Oh my. Well, there's your bold prediction.
Yeah, that's a bold prediction. I hate to be that way, but it is what it is. Like we got mad at this guy. You know what I'm saying? The last person to take us to the playoffs to see the same thing. So I'm just, well, not even the same thing. I don't think he's ever thrown the ball backwards. Like and Minshew knew he was wrong for that, because as soon as it went backwards, he ran towards that direction. He knew. Yeah, that's my bold prediction. I'm sorry.
Yep. Circus says his prediction is Zamir will run into 3 of his teammates' ass cracks, then fumble when the gets on a run for 5+ yards. God damn. Shout out to Mike 2 Cent. Shout out to everybody coming in, man. Gam 110 was good. Sam Tanka, everybody coming in, man. Good to see you guys, man. I hope all is one. I see Raider Paul there saying this. I forgot to play this today, man. Yep. Minshew's legs. God damn. But shout out to everybody, man. My bold prediction. That's my bold prediction. The silence. I got nothing, bro. Honestly, I everything got taken out of me from Sunday, bro. I'm not gonna lie. I can't even think of a bold prediction. I mean, hey, let's just say Raiders get more sacks than the Chiefs did against the Ravens. There you go. And the Chiefs, all they got was one sack. So anything better than one sack gets my bold prediction.
Anything's possible.
Yeah. The QB competition hurts the starting quarterback by cutting the rest with the first team in the half. That's a fact. That's a fact. Bold prediction: Eric does a Saturday show. What the fuck, man? Come on, man. I have been doing it, all right. But of course, man, we're ending it off here. Of course, Twuan is gonna have shows coming up to preview even the game more in detail. Same thing with me on Saturday. But first, Twuan, let them know where they can find you, what lives you got coming up,
Look,
times, dates, all those things, man.
look, this is my second show of the day. Yes,
Yeah.
my second show of the day. So if you guys have not checked out um the live I just got off of, go over onto my channel, RaiderTwuan, and check it out. I gave a little more, gave more insight on this game. And you were able to I got to be hang out with Asylum and Raider Savage at the cage match show. So yeah, definitely go check that out and hit the like button on all my stuff. Just spam like
Mhm.
button on everything. All
Mhm.
right, just do that. And this week, well, I already did Who Ate the Brown Crackers. So if you haven't checked that out, hear what I said on that. And between either Friday or Saturday, I'll be dropping, um, doing the game plan. So I'll be talking about the things the Raiders have to do in order for a successful game. Despite what I said right now, I'm gonna give you the keys of success against the Ravens. So definitely watch out for that. And those content creators hit me up on IG at Twuan Twuan. I work with all content creators. So if you want me to come to your show, um, hit me up there, and I'll definitely connect with you. I do have some special announcements, and I'll say those now. I am adding two additions to my moderators. I don't use a lot of moderators. I know a lot of people. Everybody's got a wrench, but at the RaiderTwuan channel, um, there is a select few, and actually, I'll be adding. And congratulations to um, Rob Pena and Ray Love. They are officially moderators of the RaiderTwuan channel. So, congratulations to you. Hit me up on IG, and we can talk more specifics after that. But yeah, RaiderTwuan, quit playing with yourself. Go ahead and subscribe.
Yep. Yeah. Shout out to Game 110. Who else did the Raiders interview for head coach? There's a bunch of things. There was like Clemson coach. And I can't even think of Harbaugh. I mean, there was a couple others that I can't even think of. But as far as like interviews, I don't really remember, to be honest. I kind of went away from that once we got our coach, right? Shout out to congregation. That's a fact. We need to get healthy as a team. That's a fact. Yep. Shout out to them. Shout out to them. You already know. But for me, obviously, y'all know my schedule, man. It's always stayed the same, except for once I start doing collabs with other content creators from other teams. I'm just waiting for the Ravens to pass, and then I'm gonna start that process. Because I don't want to preview this game with the content creator that's gonna most likely make fun of me after this game. So I'm gonna wait till after this week, and then you're gonna start. I'm gonna start trying my best to get content creators from other teams to hop on and talk about their team and talk about what we got coming up. But of course, you guys don't know my schedule. Of course, it starts off on Mondays at 5:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 8:30 p.m. This is usually the post-game recap of the game. And then Wednesdays is obviously the 2 for 1 Nation podcast, which is a little bit of both, previewing the upcoming game, post-gaming the last game. And then on Saturdays, my previews, my shortest show, 30 minutes, about 30 minutes around there, to just talk about the preview for the game. So those are my schedule there at 1 p.m. Pacific Standard Time on Saturday. I know there's a big fight on Saturday in college football, so that's why I do it as early as possible. You guys could come through, hey, talk some Raiders before the football and stuff like that. Even though college football does start in the early a.m., but that's my schedule. Besides that, man, I appreciate everybody for being here. Of course, like always, you know. we gotta hope for the best, and hopefully this is a wake up call and not a sign of a long season. But I ain't gonna lie, if it keeps going this goddamn route, we might have to start pulling up videos like this.
Sometimes things just don't work out. It was after a short period of time that I realized I didn't hire the person I thought I was hiring.
Yeah, and it sucks to say that because shit. But it's obviously week 1. I'm not gonna pull that video out yet. I'm not that person to do it even in the next game because I'm not expecting too much out of the Ravens game, to be honest. I just want to get past the Ravens, and it could be a little bit of an easier slate. Hopefully, that's when they get it going. Usually, everybody says the 3rd, 4th week is when teams start going. Hopefully, that's us. But at the end of the day, we gotta see what happens. Yo, SC Trojan with the big dub last week. That's a fact. I'm not gonna say anything. I'm not gonna jinx it, but fight on. It feels good to win games over there in college football, man. Shout out to UC Fight On. You already know what it is. And of course, shout out to everybody, man. Blessings to you guys and your families. I'll see you guys. We'll both see you guys next week together, next Wednesday, for another 2 for 1 Nation podcast to post game the Ravens and then talk about the upcoming game, which is, I believe, the Panthers, right? That's the 3rd week, if I'm not mistaken.
Panthers, yes.
Panthers. So we're gonna talk about all those things. What?
Home game.
First home opener. Yep. So we're gonna talk about that next week. But of course, hopefully we get some good news coming out of Sunday. But besides that, man, thank you guys for being here. Hit that like button on the way out. Subscribe if you're new. And if I didn't get to one of your comments, hey, after this live is done, comment down below and I'll reply to it, man, and we'll have a conversation. But besides that, man, like I said, blessings to you guys and your families. Tough time never lasts, but tough people doing. You guys are some tough people, man. Life is too short, so always tell your loved ones you love them. And on that note, y'all, this was the SC Raider Talk, aka boy Eric, and from the congregation and home of the Brown Crackers, RaiderTwuan. And we will see you next week, man. And I'll see you Saturday, and he'll see you in the next show and the next video. Go check it out. Both links are down in the description below. And we are out. Peace.
Commitment to excellence. There's a commitment to excellence. The greatest players could get the greatest coaches. The great game